Hey guys, I wanted to come on here and talk about this story, and I would have put this up earlier, but I was doing an interview with Sonnetter, and I will be putting that and uploading that on my channel. In the meantime, if people want to see it, you can go see it on Sonnetter's channel, the full interview. But I wanted to get into this video because it's the quintessential story of white depravity, only it's 10 times worse, because you see that they were raping infants. And I feel like there's a certain level of a demon that you have to be to prey on babies. And if you guys study the occult, specifically Satanism and the evil-based spiritual systems, you will see desecrating, raping, and preying on babies is a very integral part of what they believe in and what they subscribe to and what they engage in. If you guys really are interested in going in depth in it, there are some videos on YouTube around occult and baby sacrifices. There's even little struggle gene kids and videos describing, sacrifices done to babies. So that's if you guys are interested in that. But as far as this depraved story, because it's so sickening and it involves babies, I don't want to get too deep into it because it's just very disturbing. But the point is to show you guys how sick these demonic entities are. And Black people would do very well. It would benefit Black people tremendously to study the psychology of these demons, because unlike them, we don't really pay attention to psychology, and you cannot effectively deal with your self-determined enemy if you don't understand their psychology, especially when you understand that they are studying Black people all day, every day. They don't have a choice but to, if they're going to keep Black people in a subjugated position. Now, it says a husband and wife have pleaded guilty to a child pornography charge after admitting to filming themselves abusing babies as young as 8 months old. What's really interesting here is how they'll sit here and simply label it child pornography. They pled guilty to a child pornography charge, although they were raping, and they put abusing, but these people were raping babies at, as old as 8 months old. So that right there tells you why the crime data is so skewed, because these people don't really get charged for engaging in the behavior that they actually engage in. They get charged for lesser crimes. Like, of course, child pornography is going to be a different type of charge with a different sentence than child rape. It says Christopher Almaguer, 26, and his 27-year-old wife, Sarah Rochelle Almaguer of Waco, Texas, pleaded guilty to 1 count of sexual exploitation of children and 1 count of production of child pornography after appearing before the district court on October 30. Now, keep in mind, they only have 2 charges, but they said they had up to 25 different victims. The pair now both faced a prison sentence between 15 years and 30 years for each count, the U.S. Attorney's Office said in a statement. Now, we'll read that statement in a minute. Prosecutor said the Almagars admitted that in December 2007, they uploaded sexually explicit videos of themselves sexually assaulting children as 8 months old. Following an investigation, 25 potential child victims from the Central Texas area were identified, ranging from infants to 14-year-olds, according to court documents. Now, you see how it says they have 25 potential child victims, yet up here, they only have 1 count of production of child pornography and 1 count of sexual exploitation of children. Notice how they're not even being charged for what they've actually done. They should have 25 counts, because they should have 1 count for each child that they victimize. But this is in the system, how white people get away with crimes that they commit. This is why I try to deter Black people from engaging in narrative about crime and about crime data and who's doing what, because the system isn't really set up and designed to really prosecute people based on what they do, especially when the individuals in question are white. Now, it says the pair will return to court before U.S. District Judge Alan D. Albright on January 29, 2019 for sentencing. Both have been held in custody since their arrest earlier in February of this year by investigators with the Texas Office of Attorney General. Now, I want to go to the statement really quickly, the press release, and read that to you guys. So it says the United States Attorney's Office, Western District of Texas. And you see it says the Department of Justice. It said Killeen, husband and wife, pled guilty to federal child exploitation charges. The United States Attorney John F. Badge, Secret Service Special Agent in Charge Paul Duran, and Texas State Attorney General Ken Paxton announced that 26-year-old Christopher Almagor and his wife, 27-year-old Sarah Rochelle Almagor of Killeen, pled guilty today in Waco, Texas, to one count of sexual exploitation of children and one count of production of child pornography. Now, the fact that they're only being charged with one count of each of these is why I tell you guys, they will sacrifice anything, even their own people, as a means of preserving white supremacy. Because when they know that these white people have victimized 25 children, raped infant babies, so they're particularly depraved, savage, and demonic, but they're only charging them with 2 counts. None of them are child rape. Right there, they're sending the message that it doesn't matter what white people do. They're never going to be charged or held accountable for their actual behavior. They have no problem giving them a lesser charge and therefore a lesser sentence. This is why you have the prison system that is disproportionately black males, despite the fact that these white men and women are out here committing the most atrocious, demonic, and heinous crimes. Understand these are crimes without a motivation. So that's the difference. And that's why I don't like black people engaging in that type of rhetoric about black people being criminal minded or anything like that, because that's just not simply the case. It says the Almagors each face a mandatory minimum term of 15 years up to 30 years in federal prison on each account. Appearing before United States Magistrate Judge Jeffrey C. Mansky, the Almagors admitted that in December 2017, they uploaded sexually explicit videos of themselves sexually assaulting children as young as 8 months old. According to court records, investigators compiled a list of approximately 25 potential minor victims ranging in age from infants to 14-year-olds of children from the Central Texas area. This right here tells you how depraved and psychotic and demonic white supremacy is, because they should care about getting predators who would want to victimize 8-month-old babies. Like, if you think about the psychology and what it has to take for them to be that disgusting and depraved, and for them to give them a sentence that ensures that they'll be back out on the streets, that tells you how disgusting and demonic. These are like demons walking amongst people. And unfortunately, we have a lot of our people that are so corrupt that they really do believe that these people are the ones who they should be seeking their mates and procreating with. The Almagors have remained in custody since their arrest by investigators with the Texas Office of Attorney General, Child Exploitation Unit, and special agents with the United States Secret Service in February 2018. Sentencing has been scheduled before the United States District Judge Alan D. Albright in January 29, 2019. The case was investigated by the Texas Office of the Attorney General, Criminal Investigations Division, Child Exploitation Unit, the United States Secret Service, and the Killeen Police Department. Assistant United States Attorney Gregory S. Gloff is prosecuting the case on behalf of the government. Now, the thing of it is clearly they don't really believe that this is a serious case because it involves a white person or white people. Ask yourself, though, if black people engaged in the same behavior, how likely is it that they will be getting reduced charges? Because again, if they have 25 victims, they should be have at least 25 counts, but they're not. They're only giving one count for 2 different categories, none of them being child rape. And the thing of it is that they're probably going to get a sentence the bare minimum. Now, they said they have to do mandatory minimum of 15 years for each one. So they may get 30 years, but they may not, because these judges will give them a suspended or reduced sentence, or they may give them a sentence of 15 years each to be served concurrently. And when you have a sentence that says it's being served concurrently, that means if they serve one 15-year sentence, that means they're serving their 30. That's what that means. That means if they're in there to serve this 15-year sentence and they have a concurrent sentence, that means that by serving one sentence, you're serving the other. So chances are that's probably what they're going to do. But you guys let me know what you think. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.